What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content. Try again. I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again. With me. That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think. Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all the heavenly glory. Do you understand? Never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow. That's it. Kick me. Kick me. What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content. Try again. I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again. With me. That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think. Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Do you understand? Never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow. That's it. Yeah, boy.
Keep your guards up and keep moving. You know, and when it's time to hit that wide, do that special move. Do it quick. Don't waste time. You know, get that guy out of there. Keep fighting, keep swinging. Right uppercut, left hook, right straight. Guards up and keep moving.
Hold on.
When it's time to hit that wide, do that special move. Do it quick. Don't waste time. Get that guy out of there. Keep fighting.
Alex, it's Adam.
Hey, you sound like shit. How you feeling?
A little sore, but
Right uppercut,
be all right.
left hook, right straight.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've been through worse. Jesus, how fucked up is that to think, huh?
Listen, Alex, my systems are acting up a little, so I've got to get checked out.
Keep your guards up and keep
But if you want to meet or...
What? No, I'm fine, man. You just take care of you. This girl's built tough. Give me a call when you're useful again, okay?
All right, I will. Talk to you soon. Open blinds.
Good morning, Adam. You have one new message.
From?
David Sarek.
Play it.
Adam, it's David. I know it's been a while, but after what happened in Prague yesterday, look, son, whatever reasons you had for not getting in touch these last 2 years, well, life's too short. I'm leaving for London.
You saved his VidCon number?
Yes, Adam. Just activate your TV system.
I actually believe that this will suppress violence in the world and could actually lead to because you're getting out your aggression through your thumbs. You're not taking it out the front door. You know, I think this is actually good for kids. That whole study that says violence causes hysteria. Okay? Let your kids sit down, get it out, and it saves them from doing dirty deeds on the street. I think it's bad.
Bonus point. Inevitable. Points for yourself. Insta-kill. Max ammo. Kaboom.
Do you like sushi?
God, Grandpa, you're such a dick.
Sorry, Summer, your opinion means very little to me.
Why, Jerry? Why expend the effort?
Life is effort, I'll stop when I die.
Having a family doesn't mean that you stop being an individual. You know the best thing you can do for people that depend on you? Be honest with them, even if it means set them free.
You're saying I should leave Jerry. I can't believe I'm finally having this conversation. I feel like I've spent my life pretending you're a great guy and trying to be like you. And the ugly truth has always been
But I'm not that great a guy, and you're exactly like me. Worse, you're smart. You know nothing matters, the universe is yours. And I've never met a universe that was into it. The universe is basically an animal. Graces on the ordinary. Creates infinite idiots just to eat them. Not unlike your friend Timmy. You hardly matters now, sweetie. The smart people get a chance to climb on top, take reality for a ride, but it'll never stop trying to throw you. And eventually it will. There's no other way off. You're gonna keep your mouth shut about it, Morty, because the world is full of idiots who don't understand what's important, and they'll tear us apart, Morty. But if you stick with me, I'm gonna accomplish great things, Morty, and you're gonna be part of them. Who you are? So I wouldn't have to come here.
Talk to me.
want to come here.
Because I don't respect therapy. Because I'm a scientist. Because I invent, transform, create, destroy for a living. And when I don't like something about the world, I change it. And I don't think going to a rented office in a strip mall to listen to some agent of averageness explain which words mean which feelings has ever helped anyone do anything. I think it's helped a lot of people get comfortable and stop panicking, which is a state of mind we value in the animals we eat, but not something I want for myself. I'm not a cow. I'm a pickle. When I feel like it. So, you asked.
You are the master of your universe, and yet you are dripping with rat blood and feces, your enormous mind literally vegetating by your own hand. I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless by therapy, the same way I'm...
Kick me. Kick me.
Hey, no offense, but you got something bigger in that belt.
What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content. Try again. I said emotional content.
It was our desire to remind you that you are vibrational first. which means you got to pay attention to something other than what you're seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching, because while that is vibrational interpretation, most people don't know that. So it was necessary to help you to understand that you are emitting a vibrational signal in order to help you to understand that your signal that you are emitting is being answered all the time, and that's what equals your life experience, period. Most humans don't know that, and in many cases don't want to know that because they don't want to assume responsibility for what's coming, especially the parts they didn't want to come. Abraham, I'm sure I'm not the creator of my own reality. I would not have created that. And we say, we didn't say you did it on purpose, but you did do it. You did do it. Sounds a little blameful, doesn't it? You did do it. But when you realize that you have creative control of your experience because you have vibrational control of your experience, because you have focused control of your experience, because you have the ability to focus, then you say, all right. But then when it's hard, you say, not all right. This shouldn't be this hard. This shouldn't be this hard. And then you say something, which is the last thing we ever want to hear from you. I'm not good at this. But you are good at it. You just don't know you're good at it. You just haven't practiced being good at it in the way that really gives you the clarity. And that's really what we're going to be talking about here today. If you've been following us for a while, you've heard us say that you are the creator of your own reality, blah, 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 enough of that. And that you live in a vibrational universe, blah, 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 blah. Enough of that already. But you do, and you are. So, blah, blah, blah. So, here you are, the creator of your own reality. And life is constantly throwing things at you, isn't it? Well, it's not really like that. Life is happening around you, and you're observing, but it really isn't after you. It's not testing you. It's not challenging you. It's just being around you for you to observe. It's just this magnificent palette for you to play in. So life is happening around you, and you are participating in it through your observation, through your memory, through your awareness, through your conversation. You're participating in it. And as you are doing that, what you want. Because life helps you to know what you don't want. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. It's just this wonderful variety or contrast that helps you to come to important personal conclusions. So these conclusions happen within you, and we've been calling that step one because the variety, the contrast that surrounds you causes you to ask for what you want. Whether you use words or not, you just constantly keep coming to personal preferences. You were born like that. You've always been like that. You'll never stop being like that. We want you to accept that you are like that. It's a good thing. Step one is a really, really good thing. You're asking constantly. It is the basis of the expansion of the universe. It's a wonderful thing. So you're asking, step one. Step two, not your work. That's where law of attraction and the source within you answers what you're asking for. When you emit a signal, the signal is answered. So ask, answer, ask, answer, ask, answer. But your discomfort is that there often appears to you to be quite a time gap between your asking and the universe answering. But there is not a time gap between the answer. There's just a time gap between you getting up to speed with the answer. You say, hey, Abraham, that can't be right because I want it. I'm paying attention. If it were there, I would know it. And we say, it comes in a vibrational form first, and you say, oh, so that's the catch. You're giving me something vibrational that I can't see or hear or smell or taste or touch. So you can say all day that when I ask, it is given. Write a book about it if you want, Abraham. You can say that all day, but to me it doesn't feel like it's being given, and we say that's because you're in a different frequency from what you're asking for. You have to line up with what you're asking for. In other words, when you want more money because you clearly do not have enough, when you feel frightened or bound or in trouble financially or just not satisfied, when you feel that way, you are that way. And you say, no, I feel that way because I am that way. And we say, no, you am that way because you feel that way. In other words, it works differently than you think it does, but you've been observing it for so long, you don't know which came first. But what comes first always is your vibrational countenance. and then the manifestation just matches what you feel like. So if you want more money and you feel like you don't have enough money, you can ask all day, every day. You can write long lists of it. But if in your belly, if in your being, if you're feeling the fear or the absence of money, then you've got a vibration going that's different from the answer that you seek. You want more money, but your vibration says, I don't have enough. And the universe says, and law of attraction answers you with what you're feeling. So a lot of our physical friends, especially in the beginning, say, well then, it doesn't seem like I can get there from there. It doesn't seem like I can get to where I want to be from where I am. Because if I am missing something that I want, and I'm aware that I'm missing this thing that I want, and in fact the reason that I'm speaking about it so clearly is because it's missing and that's why I want it, then how do I get there? And we say, you have to feel like it feels to have it. And you say, okay, then give it to me and I will. And we say, just try a little bit. Just try a little bit to not activate within yourself so often the vibration of what's missing, and focus yourself into activating the vibration of what you want. It is not as difficult as you think. So, step 1 is contrast causes you to ask. Step 2 is it is given vibrationally, so there is no gap really. Step 3 is you have to convince yourself there's no gap. That's the work. You got to feel it as if it is in order for it to be. And we know you balk at it, but many of you are practicing this and are finding it. Many of you are understanding the laws of the universe, and you're finding ways to focus yourself into feeling good without needing all of the evidence to be there first. You hear how important that is? If you don't need the evidence for what you want to be there first before you feel it, then you are able to accomplish the vibrational countenance of it before it is, which means now it must be. And Esther said, please, 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 let's call it step 4. Please, please, please. Can't we call it step 4? We need another step. We need another step, Abraham. Please, please, let's call it step 4. I said, all right, step 4. So you ask, step 1. Source answers, step 2. You allow it, step 3. But now we've been talking to you for a while. You've been keeping up with us pretty good. And we're saying to you that if you don't try so hard, if you just accept that you are naturally good-feeling beings, and when you wake up in the morning, before you start thinking about the things that you've got to do that you don't want to do, before you start remembering the injustices of yesterday or 10 years ago, before you remember that you're going to that place today to work that you really don't want to be, before your kids get up, before any of those things happen that challenge your sense of well-being, if you can get hold of that sense of well-being and just sustain it for a little bit with really general thoughts, because if you get specific, it usually doesn't work as well. Get into an attitude of appreciation and milk it for just a little bit. Law of attraction will help you out. Because law of attraction says that that which is likened to itself is drawn. And law of attraction will give you, it's not really giving it to you, it's just the way it is. It's like gravity doesn't give you attachment to the planet. It just is. So law of attraction provides for you this consistent life experience. So to make it very clear and blunt, we like blunt. You have 17 seconds. And move it into something even more powerful. 17 seconds, and another thought like it joins it. And there is power, manifestational power in that crossing that 17-second mark that most people don't know about, or when they wake up, they would make very sure that they stay there for 17 seconds. So if you find a good feeling thought, or better said,
I'm feeling like Floyd in this Mayweather. It takes so much effort to produce a smile these days.
When the cards were closed.
Compliment. Okay, I gotta go somewhere, so can we make this quick?
Points doubles the dead, doubles the fun. Oh, there's blood in my eyes! Oh, yes! 9? The dirty, hairy little men things are taking my things! Oh, there's a doll inside a doll inside a doll! Sounds perverse. This is the doctor can go a very long time. Does that turn you on?
Well, it is a small group, and this was my intent. By focusing on the Hermetic corpus and alchemy, I've just gotten tired of talking about psychedelic drugs and always saying the same things over and over again. Nevertheless, it's a challenge to go outside my own bailiwick. I mean, I've had an interest in Hermeticism and alchemy since I was about 14 and read Jung's Psychology and Alchemy, and it opened for me the fact of the existence of this vast literature, a literature that is very little read or understood in the modern context. The Jungians have made much of it, but to their own purposes, and perhaps not always with a complete fidelity to the intent of the tradition. We'll talk a lot about the Jungian approach, but there are other approaches, even within the 20th century. I believe, since I don't have the catalog, I'm not absolutely certain, but I believe the catalog urged you to read Giordano Bruno and the Hermetic Tradition by Dame Frances Yates. And this is, though Frances Yates' scholarship is very controversial, I think to get an overview of the landscape, her book is probably the best single book between covers. It's not pleasing to some factions, and we can talk about that. I mean, we will probably discover within the group all the strains of alchemical illusion and delusion that have always driven this particular intellectual engine. But I thought to get one book that sort of covered the territory, that was a good one to start with. Well, then I found out it's very hard to get this book. I didn't realize that because it's been sitting on my shelf for years. Richard Byrd found a reprint at the Bodhi Tree that I wasn't aware of this particular edition. So, though probably none of you brought it with you in a heavily underlined form, if after this weekend you want to try and get it, it is available. And if you can't get that edition, why, a good book search service can probably come up with the first edition, which is Rutledge Keegan Paul. I wouldn't hold a weekend like this simply to go over a body of ancient literature if I didn't think it had some efficacy or import for the modern dilemma. And some of you may know the song by the Grateful Dead in which the refrain is, "We need a miracle every day." I think any reasonable person can conclude that the redemption of the world, if it's to be achieved, can only be achieved through magic. It's too late for science. It's too late for hortatory politics Well, it's very interesting. I mean, every ancient literature has its apocalypsis, and in the Hermetic literature, there is a prophecy. I think it's in Book 2, but that really doesn't matter. And the prophecy is that a day will come when men will no longer care for the earth. And at that day, the gods will depart, and everything will be thrown into primal chaos. And this prophecy was very strongly in the minds of the strains of non-Christian thought that evolved at the centuries of closure of the Roman Empire. When you look back into historical time, it's when you reach the 1st and 2nd centuries after Christ that you reach a world whose psychology was very much like the psychology of our own time. It was a psychology of despair and exhaustion. This is because Greek science, which had evolved under the aegis of Democritean atomism and Platonic metaphysics, had descended.
God, Grandpa, you're such a dick.
Sorry, Summer, your opinion means very little to me.
Why, Jerry? Why expend the effort?
Life is effort, and I'll stop when I die. Beth, having a family doesn't mean that you stop being an individual. You know the best thing you can do for people that depend on you? Be honest with them, even if it means setting them free.
You're saying I should leave Jerry. I can't believe I'm finally having this conversation. I feel like I've spent my life pretending you're a great guy and trying to be like you. And the ugly truth has always been
that I'm not that great a guy and you're exactly like me.
Am I evil?
Worse, you're smart. When you know nothing matters, the universe is yours. And I've never met a universe that was into it. The universe is basically an animal and grazes on the ordinary. Creates infinite idiots just to eat them. Not unlike your friend Timmy.
Tommy.
Yeah, hardly matters now, sweetie. You know, smart people get a chance to climb on top, take reality for a ride, but it'll never stop trying to throw you. And eventually it will. There's no other way off. And you're gonna keep your mouth shut about it, Morty, because the world is full of idiots that don't understand what's important. And they'll tear us apart, Morty. But if you stick with me, I'm gonna accomplish great things, Morty. And you're gonna be part of them. So I wouldn't have to come here.
Why didn't you want to come here?
Because I don't respect therapy. Because I'm a scientist. Because I invent, transform, create, and destroy for a living. And when I don't like something about the world, I change it. And I don't think going to a rented office in a strip mall to listen to some agent of averageness explain which words mean which feelings has ever helped anyone do anything. I think it's helped a lot of people get comfortable and stop panicking, which is a state of mind we value in the animals we eat, but not something I want for myself. I'm not a cow. I'm a pickle when I feel like it, so you asked.
You are the master of your universe, and yet you are dripping with rat blood and feces, your enormous mind literally vegetating by your own hand. I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless by therapy, the same way I'm bored when I brush my teeth and wipe my ass. Because the thing about repairing, maintaining, and cleaning is, it's not an adventure. There's no way to do it so wrong you might die. It's just work. And the bottom line is, some people are okay going to work, and some people would rather die. Each of us gets to choose.
Come on, Rick, don't talk about my parents like that. Listen, Morty, I hate to break it to you, but what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. I did it, your parents are gonna do it. Break the cycle, Morty. Rise above.
After dinner, everyone ought to have a
Get the hell out of my yard! JT, let me have this house! JT, let you have my house! That's my shit! I want it! You're trespassing on my property! You didn't win shit in my yard! All of you!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that? Get
digging
everybody
in
out of
deep
my
all
yard!
the time. You will say now, what does your wife think about that? Let me ask you something. When my wife's father has introduced me to stogies, what is she gonna say? She's not gonna say my father made a mistake, because her father never makes a mistake. So therefore, it is okay. I can smoke stogies around her. I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
They now reach the one junction. So the woman said that the husband should go right, while the husband said that he will go left. The man now drive his car. As he drive his car to one junction, there's a road that went right, and the one went left. Now the man said he's going to left. Now the wife said no, that he should go the left. Now the man vexed. The next thing I hear, the man slap his wife.
Boo! Well, maybe if they didn't stretch the truth, they wouldn't sell as many.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick. What kind of place is this? Where's the leak, ma'am? Who you calling Pinhead?
This is the Construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons, training simulators, anything.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self. This is real. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know.
This is a test. This is only a test. For the next 30 seconds, this station will be conducting a test. What is the formula for finding the circumference of a circle? Who is our 27th president? Correct this sentence. I aren't likely to buy a hose. This has been a test. Thank you. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
We all want to help one another. We want to live by each other's efforts, by each other's efforts. We don't want to hate and despise one another. This world has room for everyone. Good earth is rich. Can provide for everyone. Way of life. Clean. We have lost them.
This is something else.
Well, isn't it the most beautiful woman in the world? I mean, I gotta get my collection somewhere. How you doing, Mom? I mean, I'm perfect, as usual. Hey, get this. They asked me to take over the games for a bit during the holidays. That makes sense, you know what I mean?
Did you know that an adult African elephant can eat up to 136 kilograms of food each day?
Yeah, that's right, Mom.
Sorry, I just think I'm too stupid to understand this.
Elliot. Yeah, of course. Don't worry. I'll win for you today. Always for my #1 fan. Yeah, you go enjoy your pork chops. I know they're your favorite. I'm gonna go win the chance. I'm gonna go be the best. All right. Love you, Mom. I see someone over there.
The train is stopping at this station.
What is REC? I don't know. How long is this gonna go? Healing my wounds.
Shotgun over here.
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
Right uppercut, left hook.
Damn, girl.
You can never lose the fight until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
Victory for me in this game means untouchable, undefeatable, unblemishable, the smoothest, the sharpest, the prettiest. Go in the way I came out, come out the way I went in. The same way, pretty.
Well, me and my friends, we get very, very competitive. And we'll be sitting on the couch and we'll be playing a video game. And then one of us will start shoving the other person, trying to distract them. And if they don't get distracted, we'll start hitting the controllers out of each other's hand or like knocking each other's arm until they get a dead arm so they can only play with one hand. So we don't like actually fight each other, but we're fighting for the win.
You, what army?
I'll cover you. Go. Believe in yourself.
Enemy over there.
Every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath, smile, and start again.
See you next time.
Run for your life! I'll cover you!
I actually believe this will violence in the world and could actually lead to world peace. Because you're getting out your aggression through your thumbs. You're not taking it out the front door.
Who you walking?
You know, I think this is actually
Talk
good
to
for
me.
kids. That whole study that says
Look at me in the eyes.
violent gaming is causing hysteria. That's okay? Let your kids sit down, get it out, and it saves them from doing dirty deeds on the street. I think it's a fabulous idea.
Great job. You go set the girl. It's done. You and what army? Stefanos, I'll cover you. Come. Cover you. See you next time. Run for your life! I'll cover you!
I actually believe that this will suppress violence in the world and could actually lead to world peace. Because you're getting out your aggression through your thumbs. You're not taking it out the front door. You know, I think this is actually that whole study that says violent gaming is causing hysteria. Okay? Let your kids sit down, get it out, and it saves them from doing dirty deeds on the street.
Who are you walking for? Talk to me! Look at me in the eyes. Sorry, man. Great job.
enough time. I'll defuse the bomb. You go save the girl. It's done! You and what army? It fires! I'll cover you! Don't trust me! See you next time. Run for your life! I'll cover you! Not on your life.
It is our desire to remind you that you are vibrational first, which means you got to pay attention to something other than what you're seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching.
I will be reading Florence Scovel Shinn's The Game of Life and How to Play It. Florence Scovel Shinn was born in New Jersey in 1940. She was an American artist and book illustrator, and also a mystical spiritual teacher like Neville Goddard. Her time of teaching was a few decades before Neville's. There's no doubt in my mind that Neville must have come across some of her work in some of the metaphysical books he read early on in his life. Although I came across this author some time ago, I'd like to thank my viewers like Renee for bringing it up again to me, because it is really such a wonderful book and very timely. And though I planned to read excerpts of this book, I probably ended up reading 99% of it. And without further ado, Florence Scovel Shinn's The Game of Life and How to Play It, chapters 1 through 10.
I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish.
Excerpts from The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Chapter 1. The Game. Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle, it is a game. It is a game, however, which cannot be played successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law, and the Old and the New Testaments give the rules of the game with wonderful clearness. If he gives hate, he will receive hate. If he gives love, he will receive love. If he gives criticism, he will receive criticism. If he lies, he will be lied to. If he cheats, he will be cheated. We are taught also that the imagining faculty plays a leading part in the game of life. This means that what man images sooner or later externalizes in his affairs. I know of a man who feared a certain disease. It was a very rare disease and difficult to get, but he pictured it continually and read about it until it manifested in his body and he died, the victim of distorted imagination. So we see, to play successfully the game of life, we must train the imaging faculty.
Affecting everyone around her, so obvious, so bourgeois, so bold. What you see, I am sent on a dessert. Very special dessert. I wrote it myself. It starts so simply. Each line of the poem I'm creating a new effect.
Bye-bye.
Because you're getting out your aggression for yourself. You're not taking it out the front door. I think this is actually good for kids. That whole study that says why Jerry violent gaming is not an area. Let your kids sit down.
Well, come on. Brian, come on. Come around here. Let me have a look at you. My goodness, look at you. You turned out all right, didn't you? How do you feel? I know you're not sleepy. We'll get to that. Why don't you come and have a sip this time? Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way.
You're not human.
It's tough to get any more obvious than that.
If I had to guess, I'd say you're programmed from the machine world.
I'm Lilith, commander of the Crimson
So is he.
Raiders. Bandits
So far, so
part of
good.
the cult hunting for the vault map.
But if that's true, that could mean you are part of the system.
For now, my
Another
scout
kind
is
of
waiting
control.
for you up ahead.
Keep going.
I suppose the most obvious question is, how can I trust you?
Bingo. It is a pickle, no doubt about it. Bad news is there's no way if you can really know whether I'm here to help you or not. So it's really up to you. You just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it.
Inevitable.
I'm locked, loaded, and ready to loot.
You already know if I'm going to take it.
I'm itching
Wouldn't
for
be
it.
much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it.
General Claptrap of the Crimson Raiders! What's your name?
Zane Flint.
You are allowed to call me Flack until I decide if I'm going to kill you.
Mose, gunner first class, ex-Vladoff mechanized infantry.
Surely you know who I am. The Tiger of Partali? Crime fighter? Warrior for peace? It's Amara.
Thanks. I'll pre-order your
See you next
tombstone
time.
just in case.
Run for your life! I'll cover you!
Take that!
Great. I'm sure there's some people on the moon who didn't hear that.
That was stealth? How have you survived this long?
You did say stealth, right?
So we're throwing stealth out the window?
Relax. On Pandora, it's actually super weird if something's not explained.
My kind of maniac.
It seems the humans on Pandora are even more savage than the beasts.
It's a KIA on the knife-wielding maniac. Super dead. It's the throne.
Knocked out in the first round. I thought Pandora was going to give me a challenge.
So what's your name, killer?
I'm Zane. You're the lady from my brain.
I'm Flack. Your voice was in my head. Explain yourself.
Mose. And you're the voice in my head, right?
I am Amara. Nice tattoo, Siren Sister. You must be the voice in my head.
Yeah, about that. Not the weirdest thing you're gonna see on Pandora. But seriously, thanks for answering my call. We might not have the numbers, but with a badass like you, we've got a fighting chance. Welcome to the Crimson Raiders. Pandora's a dangerous place. That grenade mod will come in handy. You should equip it before we get started. Let me know when you're ready.
A little extra boom never hurt anyone. Except me targets.
A messy tool of death. I like it.
Ready to chuck some boom and frag some maniacs.
I'm always looking for new ways to take my enemies apart.
All right. It's done. I'd like to know who I'm working with. What made you decide to be a vault?
What army?
Oh, I made my money doing dirty work for every rich arsehole this end of the galaxy. Figured it was safer to quit before one of them decided to pay me with a bullet. So Vault Hunting's my retirement, I guess.
Death calls me across the stars to hunt the living and send them to her. I am her knife, and I must forever
Because you're getting
hold
out your
myself.
aggression through your thumbs.
The vaults are
You're
the
not
ultimate
taking it out
hunt.
the front door.
And so,
You know, I think this is actually good for kids. That whole study. That
Well,
says,
my old squad is all dead, and
violent
Vladoff
gaming
thinks
is
I am
causing
too.
hysteria.
So it's just
That's
me and Iron
all,
Bear.
Okay?
Mech
Let your
repairs
kids
aren't
sit
cheap,
down,
and I heard there's
get
treasure
it
in the
out,
vaults.
And it
Seemed like the right call.
doing dirty deeds on
I made my name down gangsters and taking out tyrants. I've won every fight I've ever been in, and I'm looking for a real challenge. Opening a vault.
Yo, I'm feeling like Floyd in this Mayweather.
It takes so much effort to produce a smile these days.
So I raise a morphine toast to you all. Remember that you were loved by me, and that you made my life a happy one. And there's no tragedy.
I believe if you look hard, there are more wonders in this universe than you could ever have dreamed of.
Yeah, right there. Right here.
An extremist. An aesthetic voyager whose home is the road.
It's color. Color that holds the key. I can hear the colors.
And I also know how important it is in life not necessarily to be strong, but to feel strong.
And the human race is filled with passion, poetry, beauty, romance, love. These are what we stay alive for.
Every time I step outside, new nature is shouting at me. Come on, come and get me. Come on, come on, capture my mystery.
Pourquoi les gens s'intéressent à l'art? Je sais pas, c'est un business. Non, parce que c'est la seule trace de notre passage.
I'll be reading Florence Scovel Shinn's The Game of Life and How to Play It. It was originally published in 1924.
Hey, no offense, but you got something bigger in that belt.
Keine Ahnung, ob das Kunst ist aber garantiert nichts künstlich. Und Mama hat immer gesagt, wenn sie mich umbringt, dann werd damit glücklich. Seitdem schlaf ich nicht mehr. 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 Ey, merk, dass Paranoia meiner selbst entspringt. Geh so selten ran, dass sie von selbst auflegt. Sah am Anfang noch ein Märchenprinz, wusste nicht, dass die Reise gefährlich wird. Jetzt liegt sie da am Elend. Wünsch, ich wäre nie da gewesen.